Are podcasting charts accurate? Is there a way to get to the top without spending a lot of money? In this video, we'll talk about podcasting charts. Hi, it's Mike from Casefile and Casefile Presents. I'm releasing videos on podcasting and audio production, so if you enjoy the content, you can hit the like button. So when it comes to charts, do reviews matter? Or subscribers? Or download numbers? There is a lot of assumptions and misconceptions of how the charts actually work. And, not without the reason. There is a little bit of secrecy on how these are actually calculated. Just on a side note, I read on a Podnews that Apple will be changing on their app a wording. So from subscribe to follow, because supposedly people were confusing subscriptions with payment. So we'll see how will that affect the habits of the listeners. Going back to the charts, first of all, there is no standardization, there are no rules, there is no one independent global podcast chart that we can view. Instead, we've got many little ones and big ones. And of course, the biggest one is the one from Apple Podcasts. And when you look at Apple Podcasts app, you'll see charts for podcasts where you can view top 200 or 100 podcasts under different categories, as well as you can have a look at top episodes and what's trending at this moment. Apart from that, other podcasting apps have their own trending lists and charts. So you got one Spotify, Stitcher, and so on. You've got charts from iHeartRadio or Podtrack, but you've got to be signed up for them. And there's also sort of a report each month from Triton Digital, but it only features podcast networks that sign up for that report, so you won't see every show on that. So what does matter in charts? Well, let's take Apple Podcast charts and then sort of base our assumptions on that chart, assuming others follow similar structures and algorithms. And I know it's a kind of a big assumption. When it comes to Apple Podcasts, when it comes to these charts, we know that reviews don't matter. When you see trending podcasts, I'm sure you can find some that have very little reviews and they're still high up on the list. Reviews are there for social proof. People will look at them and then read what other people think of the show. Personally, I'm not that much of a fan of the reviews because anyone can write anything they want. It's kind of anonymous, and then it ranges from 1 star to 5, and like I said, anyone can pretty much rate you whatever they want. When they had a bad day, they can just give you 1 star, so I wouldn't worry about reviews as much. But what about downloads and subscribers? Well, we kinda know that downloads do matter in top episodes lists. And that's because whenever we release a new episode, I can look at the charts and then see it trending for like 48 hours when there is the most amount of downloads, and then it falls down after a few days. And what's interesting is that it charts really high up straight after the release in some countries, and only after a few days it charts high up in other countries. So I'm not sure if that's because there is a lag in reporting that data or there's something else going on there. And it's kind of the same for the all podcast list. So for example, with Casefile, when we release new episode, the show will trend high up in some countries and only after a few days high up in other countries. So it's kind of similar to episodes list. With subscribers, on the other hand, the picture is not that clear, because we don't know how many people are actually subscribed to the show. There are so many different apps, and people are listening on different devices. It's not like with YouTube, when you have just one platform and you can easily see how many people subscribed to your channel. Now, maybe someone smart can come up with tech that can, calculate all these numbers, add them up together. I think that'd be really interesting. We can kind of assume that in order to chart really high up, especially on Apple podcasting charts, you need an amount of new subscribers in a short period of time. So if you got a new show coming out and you've got your sort of marketing campaign aligned in a way that on the first day you get a number of people subscribed to the show and downloading your new show, then it's highly likely that you will climb up to the top of that list, and that you will then appear on their new and noteworthy list as well. The problem is that after a while, if you don't sort of keep that momentum going, your show will fall off the list, will fall down the charts. But if you can organize enough people, and it's not a big number, to subscribe to your show on day one, then you more than likely will appear on Apple podcast charts. If you've ever wondered why some shows all of a sudden have their trailers played on different podcasts at the same time, that's why. It's a marketing campaign, and they want to drive a lot of people, at the same time to the RSS feed to get them lifted to the top of the charts, and that's where other people can discover them. These marketing campaigns are very costly, and for the biggest shows can cost, tens of thousands of dollars. Now the problem is that if after that initial rush the show doesn't sustain and doesn't bring new listeners, it will then quickly fall off the charts and off the list. And this is quite a big problem for limited series like 10 episode podcasts, because with a continuous show like with Case File, for example, at least you have a chance of keeping that momentum going. With a limited series, once that marketing campaign stopped, then you have to rely on word of mouth in order to get new listeners, which is difficult, and that makes the ad sales on limited series very, very tricky. But this is a topic for another video. Myself, I don't obsess about the charts as much. However, once a week I do send out sort of compilation on the latest episode, as well as how the podcast is doing, the sort of nice reviews and press mentions, things like that, and I compile it in an email and send it out to the team. Of course, I don't go and then screenshot charts from each podcasting episode, and I do have a shortcut for you if you'd like to do something like that. At the moment, you can view charts from Apple Podcasts and Spotify on Chartable. Sometimes I can see Stitcher as well, but not all the time. And the website is free. I think they offer some paid options when I sign up for their services, but I use them only for the charts, their charts compilations, and that's for free. And Chartable is not sponsoring this video. I've been using them for years. But so if you want to have a look how the particular show is doing, maybe how your show is doing, then I think it's a good place, because it just has everything, in that that one website. But that's it for today. I'm Mike Migas. If you want to learn more about podcasting or audio, you can view the rest of my channel as well as my website, mikemigas.com. For now, you can share, like, or subscribe, and I'll see you later.